What's up, family? It's your boy Mark Black. There was a couple of other things that I wanted to address while I had some time to do some videos. So, just a couple of topics that are out there that I feel like that I want to chime in or put my 2 cents in. So, I want to start off first of all by saying on this Memorial Day, this Remembrance Day, if you will. I want to shout out and give honor to those who fought and died for my freedom. Okay. I want to first give a shout out to a group that really gets no love from either the dominant society or us, and that's black veterans of the armed forces. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you that I don't believe that any black person should serve in the military. All right. And that's just keeping it 100. I'm a veteran myself, and I do not support any black person in any way fighting for anything involving this motherfucker. But with that said, I know a lot of us joined up so that we could get out of the hood or try to get some better opportunities for ourselves, get some education and things like that, right? And I get that. I'm not saying I agree with the path that we took, but I still say that your service was honorable. Your intentions were honorable, even if the use for which you were utilized in the military was not. So a shout out to the black veterans, all of you, all of us, I should say. Second of all, I want to send some love to the ancestors, for which, if it were not for them, I would not be. I'm the reason why they existed, but they're the reason why I exist. Our ancestors suffered through the hell of North America and South America and all over the diaspora. And we can pay homage to Jesus, we can pay homage to Buddha, we can pay homage to everybody else. But as soon as we start talking about praying and giving honor and love to our ancestors, all of a sudden we crazy. Man, fuck y'all. My ancestors are the holiest thing I know. They are the direct reflection of God in my life, because they created me. So all honor, all love, all respect, all worship, and all value to my hallowed and beautiful, honorable ancestors. I want to give a shout out to a couple of individuals that you wouldn't think I'd want to give a shout out to. I want to give a shout out to Christopher Dorner. Yeah, I said it. Christopher Dorner. This is not me saying that I agree with everything that the man did. All right? But give me 10,000 Christopher Dorners. 10,000 brothers with the same fucking single-minded focus, the same cognizance of purpose, and I will give us a revolution. I want to give a shout out to John Muhammad. Fuck what y'all talking about. John Muhammad. Sure, he killed people. Like these motherfuckers don't kill people on a daily basis. Give me a break. I want to give a shout out and give some love on this day to Colin Ferguson. If you don't know who he was, you better look him up. I want to remember My brothers and sisters that died this day, May 30th, 1921, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the so-called Greenwood race riot. That shit wasn't a race riot. That was an out and out brutal attack on an entire community of prosperous, peace-loving, law-abiding black citizens that to this day has not been addressed. It has not been any type of redress, any type of reparations made, any type of support. Hell, they barely even want to talk about the fact that it happened. This day, May 30th, 1921, almost 300 of our people were killed, just slaughtered. And thousands ran away from a community where they had businesses, where they had homes, where they had schools, where they had churches. I apologize. When I think about the shit, it fills me with rage. On the say-so of some pale woman, our whole damn city, our 35 square blocks. If you've never been to Greenwood, go. All right? Yeah, everybody says, go to Africa, go to Ghana and see the slave fortresses and all of that stuff. And I recommend you do that too. I haven't done it yet and I intend to. But we have places here in America where you can go and see the history right there in front of your face. They have a museum. I've been there. They have a museum there right across the street from the church that still stands from the time of the fucking slaughter. All right? And when you go inside this building, you can see pictures. You can see artifacts. And right out in front of this building is a obelisk, some sort of it's like a black marble or black granite obelisk of some sort with the names of all the people that were murdered by these bastards. And if you stand in front of that and see the names of your people and it does not move you to tears, you have no heart in you. So, happy Memorial Day, remembering our honored dead, the ones who sacrificed all, who gave all. What is it that they say, the pale people? They say, all gave some, and some gave all. Well, our honored dead gave all. All right? Nat Turner gave it all. Denmark Vesey gave it all. Harriet Tubman gave it all. Okay? The Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey gave it all. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave it all. El Malik al-Shabazz gave it all. Martin Luther King gave it all. Okay? These are our honored dead. These are our warriors, our ancestors who stood up and fought. Ida B. Wells gave it all. W.E.B. Du Bois gave it all. Okay? Don't let these motherfuckers fool you into thinking that this day is so that you can honor a bunch of assholes marching in lockstep in uniforms, going off to fight for war and gold and oil and all of that shit in the Middle East and wherever else they decide to send folk. This day is for us to remember our honored dead. Okay? So, enough with that rant. Happy Memorial Day. I hope y'all ate like pigs. The brother didn't get no barbecue. Y'all a cold piece. Okay. So another thing that I wanted to talk about was this incident where the 4-year-old boy fell into the enclosure of this silverback gorilla. And the... I can't even believe I have to talk about this shit. The outcry for the fact that the gorilla had to be put down in order to save this young man's life. This young boy's life, I should say. This incident for some of you is probably your nigga wake up call. All right, we all have them, right? There's always one incident in our lives that reminds us just what the fuck they think about us. And for some of you, this was your nigga wake up call. Oh yes, because there is more hue and cry and boo-hooing and tears are fucking flowing for this goddamned gorilla than it would have been for the little boy had he died. Are y'all understanding the psyche of the individuals that we are at war against? Has it finally sunk into you just where we stand with them? Okay, look at the hierarchy. Dogs and cats, about even. All right. Gorillas, obviously. Elephants, somewhere in there, right? Don't forget to save the whales. So the whales is in there somewhere, maybe a little bit further down the list these days, okay? And then you've got various other animals, save the tigers, save this, save that. I'm not even certain save the black folk is anywhere on that list. I'm not even certain that that's us. Like, I don't even know where we rate on that list in the minds of the pale people. Right? Dogs and cats. You can get a motherfucking life sentence for killing a dog, shooting a gorilla, hue and cry. Poor elephant dies. Holy shit. Oh, how could we have forgotten about Cyrus the lion? He gets shot by a motherfucking hunter and the whole world goes ape shit. And all of this hue and cry, all of this outrage would be nowhere in evidence if this little boy had gotten killed. Nowhere in evidence. If you needed no other thing to understand just how they see you, there you go. There you go. All right? We don't even rate gorilla level. Okay? We're not even up there with save the gorillas. Now, don't get me wrong. I love nature. Okay? I'm a nature nut. I don't even like to kill flies and bugs and shit. All right? But if I see a 4-year-old boy of any ethnicity, this is how much heart I got. If I see a 4-year-old boy of any ethnicity in an enclosure with a damn 800-pound silverback gorilla dragging him around like he's a sack of fucking potatoes, make no mistake about it, as much as I love nature and as much as I love other animals and other creatures, I would put a bullet in that goddamn gorilla, go in there and get that kid out of there, and I would consider myself a hero for having done it. And anyone who spoke up and said that I should not have done that to that gorilla, that gorilla didn't deserve that, I can't. I can't. I would lose my shit. It'd be bullets flying all around and not just at fucking gorillas. And for all you motherfuckers out there that are claiming that somehow or another, an accident, okay, this boy fell into this enclosure by accident, that somehow or another his family is to blame for this shit. Just when you think that they would surprise you, right, by actually having some degree of humanity, they go and show you that there's no fucking humanity in them, okay? This family nearly lost their son. And everyone is pointing the finger at them. You didn't watch your son. Have you motherfuckers been to a zoo? Have you been to Disneyland? Have you been to any type of large, public, open environment? You can lose your kid 3 times before you even get to the first exhibit. Especially if your kid's got some energy in them and they're on the go. They're excited to fucking be there. You're in crowds full of people. Okay, show of hands. Anybody who has never lost or misplaced or lost sight of their child at any time, raise your hand. Oh, wait, I can't raise mine. And I've got 4. Okay? The shit happens. It's an accident. I'm certain that this boy's parents didn't go there and say, shit, we at the zoo. We could be having fun. And we stuck here with this little nigga. Man, let's lose this motherfucker so we can go and have us a good time. What? Like, no, that's not what the fuck happened. My heart goes out to this boy's family. First of all, I'm grateful that they get to take their son home and that he's not another damn statistic or another hashtag, okay? Although what the hashtag would look like for death by gorilla, I can't even figure out. So I'm happy for them for that. But I know that the hell that these people are going to go through from every fucking facet of the mainstream media, from pale people in general, hell, even from some of you who are cooning. I don't wish that on them for nothing. So I'm saying publicly that the parents have my support. I've misplaced, lost sight of, not seen my kids. Luckily, no gorillas got them. The shit happens. Folks, don't beat yourself up too bad about it, and fuck what these people out here are talking about, all right? You did your best, okay? Shit happens, all right? You got to take your son home. And that gorilla, peace, you know, the creator will make more, and such is life, all right? It's another couple of things that I wanted to talk about. I've been doing some videos lately where I've kind of been going a little in. And so I want to explain the tenor, right? Explain the thought process behind those videos and why I needed to do them. I have seen quite a bit of, well, to be quite frank, I've seen quite a bit of videos where one group of us seems to go in on another group of us, right? And we see it all the time. I'm not gonna throw no names out there, but you see like debates between, you know, Hebrew Israelites and I don't know who the fuck these other people are supposed to be. Maybe they're like Kemetic worshipers or something, right? You see videos where the sisters are going in on the men, talking about how doggy we are and how we just, you know, we leave them in the lurch and we just need to put on a condom and all this. I mean, 1,000 different things, right? Then you see the videos of the brothers going in on the sisters, talking about that these hoes can't be trusted and MGTOW, you know, go our own way and all this other bullshit. And to be quite honest, while I think that there should be some degree of chastisement, right? And I don't necessarily consider myself worthy to give it, because I'm not perfect. I fuck up like 40 going north. I'm a father and a husband, and I make mistakes daily, okay? So I don't necessarily see myself as the one who is slated to go in. But when the Spirit moves me, I'm not adverse to coming with a sharp tongue. What I will say, though, is that the thought process behind it is always from a standpoint of love, of growth, and of bringing out the poison, right? You got a wound that's infected. You lance that wound open, and you get that infection, that pus and shit out, right? So the wound, it can clean itself and it can heal, right? But as long as we still let the wounds fester, and there are wounds, right? There are wounds on all sides. As long as we let those wounds fester, we cannot get to a point of healing. So the video I did where I talked to the brothers and myself was to ask us to take responsibility, right? To actually stand up and take some responsibility, but also to be the vanguard, right? To be the leaders, okay? It doesn't matter at this point, ultimately. I'm not saying it doesn't matter at all, but it doesn't matter ultimately at this point who's to blame for where we are as a community. Sure, it is a truth that women, for the most part, have had control over our community for generations. Okay, they ain't done a bang up job, and that's keeping it 100. I'm putting it mildly. They haven't done well. Okay, it is a truth that us men, being very weak-willed and cowardly, have abdicated nearly any responsibility that we have to our community. That is a truth. And whether we like that or not, those are facts, okay? It is a truth that whether you are on this Hebrew Israelite shit, or you're Kemetic, or you're new Christian, or you're spiritual, or whatever the case may be, the fact is you're sitting here arguing about the ineffable, about the overwhelming, incomprehensible that is God. Makes you look like damned fools. And what's worse is you're arguing this shit from books that you didn't write, that were given to you by people who had an agenda. They're not the words of God. I mean, let's keep it 100. God is not sitting around the sustainer, the maintainer, the creator, the force, the energy, the masculine, the feminine, whatever it is that you see God as, is not sitting around writing 2,000-year-old books. I can promise you that. Like, I don't have to know anything else about God to know that that would be the most inane shit to possibly imagine God doing. And we're sitting here arguing about the veracity or the lack of veracity of the statements contained within these old books. Those of us who have a direct experiential knowledge of that energy that we term as God are fortunate. But that experience belongs to us as our own individual selves. It is our own individual walk. So one brother reads the Bible and decides that he's a Hebrew. Fine. All right. Another cat reads the Dead Sea Scrolls and he decides to take up the tenets of Ma'at and, worship Sekhmet and Osiris and Isis and so on and so forth. Fine. Right? Another person reads the Bible and gets strong in their walk with Jesus. Fine. Who cares? I really believe that we need to stop giving a shit about what other people are doing unless it directly affects the people. Okay? If you gay, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to point my finger at you and say that you're the downfall of the black community. Could you be the downfall or a downfall of the black community? Yes, you can be. And if so, you need to revisit your whole everything. But that's not me pointing at you and saying that. That's you pointing at you and saying that. All right? If you're a Republican, I think you're damn stupid. But that's my opinion. You want to vote Republican? Vote for Trump. I don't give a fuck. There's nothing that Trump's really... I mean, everybody's losing their shit about this whole thing. There's nothing that Trump's gonna do that white supremacy hasn't already done for 400 plus years. Trump ain't new. He's not even original. He's not new, original. He's not nobody. Trump is the same white supremacist motherfuckers that we've had in charge since day one. He's just out and open about it. It's kind of refreshing to see this motherfucker come out for a change and just say, look, fuck you Mexicans, fuck you Muslims, and, niggers are some of my best friends, but, fuck them too, right? I mean, whatever. It's cool. But that's not me judging you. That's you looking at you and seeing what you do. The only areas that I will go in on you on is anything that will affect us as a people directly. I will come at your neck. Because we have to start getting on code, people. We have to start having a goddamn ethic. We have to have a culture that breeds good for us. I don't give a shit if our way is everybody else's way. We need what works for us. And if we are not doing what is best for us, then each one of us has been tapped as a prophet, right? A warner to our people to say, hey, you motherfuckers are out of bounds. You're off code. You need to get back where we need to be and let's get it cracking, right? Okay, so I'm gonna finish up here because this is kind of running long, and I already know that I could go on and on and on. But my next video, I'm actually going to be talking about a topic that I don't think we discuss enough, nearly enough. And I'm gonna want some feedback on it, which is why I'm mentioning the topic now. But I'm going to go in on the fact, on the topic of direct action, right? Direct action is what is needed to get us where we need to go, right? We, especially us intellectual black people, we're real good with the theoretics, right? We understand, post-traumatic slave syndrome. We understand the financial and legal and social and moral arguments for reparations and all this other stuff, right? I mean, and that's just kind of how we are. But somehow or another, that understanding doesn't translate when it's time to get some shit done. And make no mistake about it, in this day and time, talk is cheap. My talk is cheap. Your talk is cheap. No matter how erudite you are, no matter how well-spoken or educated you may be, your talk is cheap. Because our people will not live and die off of talk. They will live and die from actions. Individual actions as well as collective actions. And the fact that we are not holding each other accountable for action to do something needs to be addressed. And it will be by your boy Mark Black. So thank you guys for listening to this one. Leave comments below. Any type of suggestions as far as questions you want answered, topics you want discussed. I'm your man. You already know. Just get at me. If it's something that I can speak intelligently about, I will. Until the next one, love, peace, prosperity, and power to my people.